this is Bjorn from Skeino. Today I want to talk about the Operetta Shawl, which one was published and introduced by Staci from verypink.com to you a week ago. We received quite a bit of questions about this pattern, which one is very easy, but I want to reload a little bit with this pattern, and I have prepared a new swatch and a little drawing, so maybe it will help you to do your knitting a little bit easier. So just watch me doing the operetta again for you. This is my sample from the Operetta Shawl I started last night for you for this little video. I choose the colorway Norma, very popular, it's very rich, and you see here the kid mohair silk yarn, very thin but very strong, and here is a much thicker, almost a worsted weight yarn. It's a silk merino single one, so it's just a single ply yarn. Let me take a lighter one. So it's a single ply and very soft, and it just everything what it should do. So you see I started with my double pointed needle, and it works for a while so you are not losing your stitches on the very end. It works very fine, very nice, because the beginning of the shawl is kind of a little bit complicated, and I urge you and really encourage you, have a wonderful light so you see the stitches you are doing. Maybe you need to focus with any people in the room and maybe no TV, and that's the best way to really concentrate on the pattern. And right now you cannot see anything really because it's all crunched together, but the yarn is so soft and so nice. But you can do the first section of the shawl without a circular needle. I prepared, and I will switch over to the circular needle, but I want to show you, I have a little drawing for you, and I want to show you what the little drawing does. Then you can see how the shawl is being constructed. It starts with cast on 3 stitches here. This is the center of the shawl. The black line here, this is where your knitting needle is in. And the red line here and the red line here, these are the 4 places you increase. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 places where you increase every other row. That's all you need to know. And here are 3 stitches building the center line. So you are knitting from the edge. This is the edge of your shawl, and you're knitting. So this is the edge here on this side here, and you knit 2 stitches. The first one is always slipped. You knit the second stitch, increase. You are knitting towards the center, increase 1 stitch, knit the 3 stitches, increase 1 stitch, go back to the end of your row, 1 increase, and the last 2 stitches. This will form your shoulder line, and this is where you eventually could crochet all the way across to fix your shoulder line, because that's where the wear is. So I want to pick up now my knitting, and I will leave the picture and my little drawing here so you can see it at all times. So I will change now the needle from the double pointed needle. I will use the circular needle, because I will show you exactly when you have to slide your knitting from one side to the other side to be always there where your yarn is. Right now both yarns are on my right side. So I have knitted already 1 row with the kid mohair yarn, and I'm knitting now the 2nd row with the kid mohair yarn. Always slip the first stitch as if to purl, bring the yarn to the back. As you know, it's all garter stitch, so I'm knitting the first stitch, and now I have to increase, and the increase is right here. This is where increase. I knitted the 2, now I have the increase and knitting towards the center. So the increase is I'm knitting the bar below, so I'm not putting my stitch on the needle. If you want to, you can do it, but I do it right down here and grab the yarn and through. So now I'm knitting to the center. I have no stitch marker at my center, which one you should do. You should really have a stitch marker before the 3 and after the 3, or maybe just before, but when you turn your work around, you need a stitch marker on the other side. So I'm watching my 3 stitches in the center, and you always can turn your work and you can look at this. So I'm just doing the stitches towards my center. I remember the last row, I think I had 22. Let's see, maybe I haven't counted. So I'm watching until I reach my center. It's still not there. And then the next one will be the increase left and right from the 3 center stitches. So I have a few more to go. 1, 2. So here are 1, 2, 3. These 3 stitches are my 3 stitches from the center line. So I increase again by knitting the bar below, and now I'm knitting the 3 center stitches. But I will stop after the second one, and I want to show you, if you spread out your work, you will see exactly the triangle I have, and that's exactly what it matches here. So you see my 3 center stitches here. I will stretch it out a little. And the left and right, it's where the increase takes place. And here on the bottom, you see here is the line where the increase takes place at the edge. And this becomes the shoulder line on your shawl. And as I said, if this is not tight enough, you can crochet across. So here is your start with the 3 stitches when you cast on the 3 stitches here. So I'm knitting now all the way across to the other side and finishing my row on my circular needle. So this will have a 3rd stitch from the center stitches. I increase here, knitting the bar below and knitting all the way to the end to increase on the other side where the shoulder line is. I have finished the row almost now, and I have 2 more stitches, 1, 2, and now you see I have 2 stitches left, which one are on this side. It's the edge from the shoulder line. I have to increase again, so now I cannot find where I have to poke in my needle. It's a little hidden. So if you cannot find it, you just make a yarn over. That does the same job. So, and the last 2 stitches here. So now I have moved my work completely onto my circular needle, and you see you really can spread it out. So now the next row is with my thick yarn, with the silk merino yarn, but my work stopped on the left side here, but the yarn is on the right side. So it tells you to slide your needle through so you can start knitting from the same side again, but you always start knitting from the side where your yarn is. So now I'm knitting 1 row with the thick yarn all the way to the other side, and then happy me, I have the yarn already on that side, so I don't have to slide the needle through. But you see how the meander is doing here so fine and shows off your 3 center stitches, and it's really easy, just all garter stitch, but always knit from the side where the yarn is. 2 rows with your kid mohair and 1 row with the silk merino yarn. And this is the row with no increases. So I will do the same. Slip the first stitch as if to purl and just knit your entire row until you reach the other side. So it's actually really easy, but you need to concentrate the very first time when you start your pattern. It's not as easy when you start this here, but if you in your swing, then you will see, oh, it's so easy. I just have to knit 2 rows with your kid mohair, you see it here, and 1 row, which one makes this nice meander from the silk merino yarn. If you have any more questions, just feel free to email me. I will be happy to help you but it's very easy. You have this, maybe you can make a little drawing by yourself at home so you know what to do. So all I can say is happy knitting and enjoy the Operetta Shawl.